So there we have it then, the end of the ERC season. Let's have a bit of a talk about the event, then look at how the different championships break down at the end of it, and then we will just wrap up with a little bit of a conclusion about the 2024 FIA European Rally Championship season. And the story of the event was Hayden Paddon with one hand on the crown pretty much the entire time. The first stage was won by Miko Marcek, but as we got into Saturday's action, Hayden Paddon led, and he led all the way through to just before lunchtime on the Sunday, with stage 11, the first run through the Silesian Vorvoidship stage, which saw him lose the lead to Andrea Mappolini in the MRF Shod Fabia. And Mappolini held on to it to win the event in the end by 18.3 seconds. An 8th different winner in the ERC this season. A win for MRF, which is fantastic for them to have as well, because so far this season they didn't really have anybody who was up at the top. I mean, Tempestini won Hungary, but he didn't win an MRF short car. And with their big hitter in Efren Lorena leaving MRF, they were left without any kind of people who were up there winning more often. So it's a first win for Mappolini and co-driver Virginia Lenzi. Well done to them. Second place was John Armstrong. And, I mean, he looked set for a first podium. He was outperforming home driver Miko Marcek quite a lot. And it's strange to see no poles on the podium for the Polish event. But if you look at the stage winners list, John Armstrong won stage 4 and stage 7 on Saturday. And then he swept Sunday. He won all... No, sorry, I'm wrong. He won all but one stage on Sunday. He ended up winning 6 stages over the course... No, 7 stages over the course. He only won half the stages. If it hadn't been for the mistakes that he'd had, like where he went off or where he struggled for pace on Saturday morning, John Armstrong could have won the event. And that shows something about the pace that he has. Shows something about the potential that he has. The outgoing ERC3 champion. Because he's been on it and he's great on the tarmac. I really hope that we see something for him next season. But before we get into the standings, let's talk a little bit about the support series. Mille Johansson won comfortably in his ERC3 debut, beating Hubert Kowalczyk and Igor Widwak by minutes. Like, it's an impressive winning margin. Raven Jack also carried through to the end. In ERC4, Kalle Karlberg beat Max McRae by 27.5 seconds. It was Daniel Polishek, the third placed, and third place in junior as well, with Davide Pesavento. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. I'm still in the middle of moving. Also classified, but albeit 4 minutes off the pace. Polishek 3 minutes 40. And what that's meant is, well, let's get into the standings, shall we? Hayden Paddon is comfortably the 2024 FIA European Rally Championship champion. And he did that whilst holding off all kinds of different pressure from all around. Matthew Franceschi struggled for pace with the setup on the Saturday, but still managed to get a very respectable 5th in the final round of the championship. Miko Marcek is 3rd on 109, and Mappolini gets 4th on 101. John Armstrong gets 5th place on 88 points in the final standings. And just outside of the top 5, we have Tempestini, Ostberg, and Benato. Obviously, Tempestini affected by issues for getting into the events, and then sadly himself co-driven by Francesco Mayor crashing out on on the Sunday morning in Poland. Ostberg, we saw the massive crash for him and Patrick Barth, which left them both injured. And Johan Benato, who came back for this round, I didn't realise, or think I might have forgotten that he was out earlier in the year, having been injured himself. Comes back with 6th at the end of the season, our Rally Ila Canaria winner. Then in ERC3, Philip Cohn comfortably wrapped up the championship. He was 30 points clear of Igor Vidwak after all of this, and Vidwak on comeback beats Krem Kazaz, with Ravenchak a further 20 points back. Then in ERC4, Kalle Karlberg beats Max McRae by 1 point and Polashek by 5 points. And then in the juniors, it's an even greater gap with Karlberg on 119 and McRae on 112. And so let's wrap up by talking about this season. And it's impressive. For the first time since, I believe, Alexei Likanyuk in 2020, we have a repeat ERC champion. For the first time since 2017, consecutive championships with Gaetan Kajtanovic. And it's the guy who was the first non-European to be a European rally champion, Hayden Paddon with John Kennard alongside. It's great to see those two work together again. I remember when Kennard retired from co-driving at the end of 2019. They were so lovely to meet. I had the privilege of meeting both of them at Rally GB, 5 years ago now. And just such wonderful, lovely guys. And they had fans following them around the world, as Paddon talked about in his end of season interview. I really hope we see more of them. Ideally on the world stage, like they deserve a factory world championship drive, but they deserve to be able to make a career out of doing whatever they want to do. But I'll tell you what, in making this video I've looked back through previous seasons, and you know the last time in which all 8 rounds were won by 8 different drivers? It's 2019. 2019 had a down-to-the-wire title battle as well, between Chris Ingram, I believe Lukasz Shabai was part of that as well, and Alexei Likanyuk. And Ingram won, had to crowdfund for getting funding for the final round, but he won the championship. Didn't win ERC Juniors though. The ERC Junior, which was something that you could be part of in Rally 1, went to Philip Maresh because it was your best 4 rounds. And he won that at home on the Baron Rally. But Ingram won that one. And there were 8 different winners. And if you look at the winners, Habaj was one of them, Pepe Lopez, Oliver Solberg, Likanyuk, Basso, Kopechki, Alatia and Frigies Turan. Ingram didn't win a round that whole season. I love the European Rally Championship. I love the way that we can have local drivers competing against the best in Europe at the same time. I think that's a formula the WRC promoter should really go for with the WRC. I know this is the drum that I've been beating all year long, and I will continue to beat that drum through the off-season and into the future. This is what is great about rallying. I really hope that WRC promoter realises this and acts on it for next year. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I will be doing a proper debrief for the season, in addition to a review of my predictions. Some of them have come true. Some of them almost came true in every single potential permutation. And yeah, we'll do a proper review once a calendar is revealed. Till then, thanks for watching, and bye for now.